What's up, guys? Kevin Cage back with another XRP update. Today is the big day, December 11th, the XRP Ledger Snapshot. I will actually be premiering this video so I can hang out in the chat box and answer any questions for the first 15-20 minutes or so. I'll be working on the side, so I'll do my very best to answer any and all questions I see. And let's get into it. So right here, guys, blog.flare.xyz. This will be linked in the top of the video description for any newcomers that want to better understand the Spark token distribution, how it's going to work with the participating exchanges to an extent, because keep in mind, you still have to wait on additional information from the exchanges that you're using, whether it's Bitrue, Binance US, Coinbase, Kraken, etc. All right, so talking about the Spark that you can claim, talking about the token distribution model, the tokenomics, etc. So Flare is very exciting, and I encourage everybody to support the ecosystem any way they can. Of course, we have XRP Ledger, XRP for settlements, the speed, the cost, the reliability. We have Ethereum with the smart contract capability, programmable money, if and then statements, true automation, and now we have Avalanche for consensus. That's also why I want to support other projects in this ecosystem like AVAX. AVAX is the ticker. You can search it on CoinMarketCap. Of course, I've talked about it a few times in this channel, talking about, of course, essentially it can be bridging the illiquid assets to the digital asset space, which is also measured in the trillions of dollars. Very powerful stuff. I think you guys understand. In this game, it is going to be hero or zero, not really in between. You either dent the universe and change fundamentally how everything works and functions and is, sent, or you fade away into oblivion. And I think we understand what is at place here. So first off, I want to read this quote because I thought it was pretty relatable for the XRP community and even digital asset space as a whole with how big this market capitalization will get. Right here. Weather is not predictable. Seasons are, okay? When in doubt, zoom out. Short term is not predictable. Long term is. So when in doubt, zoom out. I know everybody is curious with XRP. What are we going to do here? Is it because they're giving all these narratives because the snapshot is this and this is that, and we're going to pump right now or we're going to dump right now? There's always these narratives. At the end of the day, the chart will do what it's going to do. The algorithms, the market makers, the market takers, they're all going to do what they're going to do. So we're watching Algo taking a little dip. I'm going to talk about it today. I love Algo. Current price is nothing but a distraction. I, dollar cost average into assets whenever I can. I've been accumulating for several years, and I just have zero doubt in this ecosystem. So right here, XRP, I know a lot of us, will it come down to this 200 MA, close to it on the 4 hour? Will it bounce up and finally break through that 70 cent, 78 cent region? Or are we going to dip, dip, dip? Or are we simply just going to consolidate and wind even tighter? That would be absolutely insane. But as always, I think the ball is in Bitcoin's court. Next up, so we went through that, talked about Flare. You guys can read more about it. Essentially, Spark claimable is the amount of XRP you own over the XRP total minus the XRP that Ripple owns minus the NPEs, or non-participating exchanges. And of course, they hold a lot of XRP. And I know you guys go to CoinMarketCap, you see the circulating supply of 45 billion or so XRP. And to be truthful, you can look at wallet addresses, you can see how much XRP exchanges actually hold, and you can argue that, well, that amount isn't necessarily circulating and moving, it's being held. So you realize that the circulating supply is actually way less. Could be 10 billion, it could be as low as 5 billion. And yes, that has another multiplier effect. I know you guys have seen, all those things by David Schwartz talking about multiplier effects for XRP at $3 or even $120. We've never been here before. You cannot, give a price cap or a price limitation because that is a price prediction. We are too early to tell. All I know is that there is tremendous upside. All right. Right here. So I wanted to answer this question before getting into some XRP news. So XRP Venture, good buddy of mine, was just kind of asking, so who knows what happens if you hold your XRP on, say, Binance or Binance US, and you take part in this snapshot, which happens today, and you get your first distribution of the 15% of Spark tokens. Then you take your XRP and your Spark tokens and you put it on Coinbase. Can you move, your XRP, for example, and will you still get the token distribution? Well, from how I understand it, and take this with a grain of salt because we are awaiting further details from each participating exchange, wherever, so say if I use Kraken.com or Uphold, wherever the snapshot took place, which is happening today, and then in the future, even if I take my XRP off, 2 days from now, it shouldn't matter. They should still distribute the XRP each and every month for the 25 months to 34-month distribution period. So I'm not worried about it. It's not, some type of ruse to make you keep XRP on the exchange. Oops, should like that. So I was just kind of answering that. So right here, if you are claiming through a participating exchange, Coinbase, Binance US, Kraken, Bitrue, a lot of them, they will distribute the tokens to your account over time. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. The remaining Spark after the 15%, so we have 85% left, will be distributed over a minimum of 25 months and a maximum of 34 months. Now, hopefully this doesn't bum you guys out. You have to understand, this is such a nascent ecosystem. I don't care if, Spark is 50 cents. I don't care if it's fractions of a penny. It is so early. I am here, bottom line, to hold XRP. I will absolutely claim Spark. And when the price is actually official and truly listed, in the months ahead, yeah, I mean, if it actually dumps, I'll scoop some more up. I'll throw $500 at it and do a little long-term hold gamble. At the end of the day, though, this is supporting the XRP ecosystem. I'm supporting, Ethereum. I'm supporting AVAX. I'm supporting innovation. All right, through a plethora of digital assets. And if even just, 5 out of my 20, for example, win, it's game over. Like all the dream scenarios are there. All right, onward. So right here, guys. So James Rule XRP sharing this. I know many of you have seen this, and I talk about OMFIF. I know I talked a lot about them in 2019. So just to give a little preface here, because we can see we have Swift, we have Algorand, Algo. Ripple is named in this document to no surprise. We have ING, another Ripple partner, and this Digital Monetary Institute of all these groups. Of course, SDX, a SIX company. I think we know their relationship to Ripple in the past as well. And just to touch on this, teams in London, Singapore, which will be a fintech hotbed, already is in the future, and the US, all right? New York, San Francisco, etc. They are essentially a giant think tank focused on world finance, economic policy, and right here, global public investors with investable assets of $39.5 trillion at the heart of this network. Now, words mean things to me. At the heart of this network. Where have we seen that in the past? Let me see if I can pull something up really quick. Task group, heart of the network, and I'll type in Ripple. Sorry, I got a new keyboard. This thing's like lit up and so noisy, so annoying. All right, right here, look at this. Can't make it up. Ripple 2015, and where does it say that? Let's see, right here, the heart of the European Target 2 and T2S real-time gross settlement systems from the very start. You guys understand how many millions of dollars is sent every minute and every second through this ecosystem? We have the UK with the FPS. We have Singapore. We have Mexico. You just can't make it up, so keep an eye on this. This is old but gold, and they can compare speed, fees, liquidity, risk, reporting, foreign exchange, overall just exposure. Ripple has been a part of the plan all along. It is global. It is not just for some illiquid corridors. It starts that way, and it has this top-down approach, just like the internet. All right? Task Group is huge. Their logo is the owl. You guys can get conspiratorial too. But at the end of the day, they're right into the securities and the target platform throughout the European Union. I was going to say Eurosystem. All right. So right here, guys, we know. We can go through this and just do a little Control F, and I'm going to do Algo just to give an example. But we can see, we thank our sponsors, Algorand, Citi, Ethereum, MasterCard, Swift, etc. We can see Steve here. And just talking about programmable money, compliant, frictionless exchange, interoperability between platforms, this is the future. And there's going to be many winners in the payment space. I see XLM doing great. I see XRP doing great. I see Algo doing some interesting things as well. All right. We understand. I mean, some can migrate away and be agnostic and go to their own blockchains, and Algorand is, of course, pure proof of stake. We have QNT and Chainlink, which are entirely agnostic. So if ADA becomes the new Ethereum platform, or any other for that matter, they can migrate to there as well. They're versatile. They can adapt to any situation. These are the protocols that I'm interested in. All right. So very interesting. We have to keep an eye on them. And of course, I'm sure many of you have seen them. I believe Ripple's in this document as well as reading earlier. So right here, yep, challenges fintech actors such as Ripple, which employ DLT to facilitate movements of fiat currency between financial institutions by acting as a bridging digital assets. Now, there's some commentary here with Algorand not needing to help the old system. and connect to the new because it's just so innovative and revolutionary that it does that. But the thing is, that is not, dissing Ripple in any way. What Ripple is doing is very important and necessary for this ecosystem. You could not replace all the legs of MoneyGram or any other of these old dinosaurs for that matter. Ripple, the company, is absolutely necessary in doing the smart thing right now by bridging in, these ecosystems with the new ecosystems, the old and the new. All right. So let me see if I'm missing anything. Retweeted this: frictionless exchange, borderless economy. That's the narrative that Al Grant talks about. Programmable money. Smart contracts are going to be huge. No middlemen. And this is going for every digital asset. Guess what, though? Even now, with XRP, we have smart contract capability thanks to Flare Networks. So I'm really excited to see that. I am not worried about, I love Ethereum. I hold Ethereum. I think it's here to stay. But if XRP gets some Ethereum capabilities plus faster settlement fees, everything, man, this is going to be a cakewalk for XRP. All right, let's keep going. So we talked about that. Now right here, these are some old quotes from DBS Bank. We've had some recent news from them in Singapore, so I want to kind of preface it and kind of go back to what we know and what we see now, because it always paints a picture. People laugh at our dot connecting and then all of a sudden, boop, it happens. So right here, we know back in the day, of course, this was on the website as well, talking about Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple, the cheapest method for sending money across borders. We can see fintechs are also looking to disrupt cross-border payments. Yeah, because they're about 10 times more expensive than domestic payments in certain regions. It's a no-brainer. All right, we have e-commerce growing, payments, digitization, mobile banking. I think we can see it, and those of us that are attacking now are going to be very well positioned in these open source protocols. Most fintech solutions currently available are in the retail space, so that means that there's solutions needed for wholesale, aka XRP. So tend to focus on reducing foreign exchange spreads, absolutely important. Ripple is an example of a fintech looking to disrupt correspondent banking, the dinosaur that was built 40 years ago and has not been updated. There's no other player. Swift does not have the money to change the architecture and system. They simply don't. They need these smaller private fintechs worth billions of dollars to move and adapt. And that's exactly what's happening through a variety of offices all around the globe. You saw RippleNet, 55 countries right there, Singapore, London, all the financial capitals of the world. Right here, the official mention has been seen as a major leap in the field of finance. And we also have gentleman, what is his name, Piyush Gupta of DBS Bank at Ripple's annual event. All right. So, and also the former Reserve Governor of India, Dr. Rajan, some of the biggest names in finance. I just laugh when people, discount Ripple and XRP. All right. Ecosystem that has ignored crypto for its speculative behavior. Naturally, that's how every ecosystem starts. The internet was largely speculative as well. And now it is the backbone of the very society that we live. Half of us are already living in virtual reality. We're looking at our phones, watching these YouTube videos. We're sitting on our computers. We're playing games. We're watching Netflix. Most of our reality of, what's observable is virtual. All right. And the lack of a centralized governing party. DBS Bank is a major banking player in the South Asian landscape and a territory that has become a hotspot for new path-breaking technologies. Just watching Swift, traditional, Ripple's biggest rival. Sometimes they're looked at enemies. Sometimes they're looked at part of the plan all along. So to each their own. Anyways, so we have right here, Mbiagi. Thanks for sending this my way. Saw this the other day. There's just so much information to get through. So we have the MAS, the Monetary Authority of Singapore. Well, we know Ripple has an office in Singapore. We know there's a lot of exchanges in Singapore as well, and Malta and friendly jurisdictions, good relationships with Switzerland, etc. But the Monetary Authority of Singapore is in cahoots with who? Accenture, one of Ripple's first investors. Accenture is helping several groups and countries basically re-architect or rebuild the real-time gross settlement systems. Settlement is the key word. So we know they greenlight DBS, Digital Exchange, SGX invests as well. So let's take a quick look at this, and then I want to talk about more DBS connections. So we can see Singapore's DBS Bank, and Singapore is going to be a fintech hotbed. Basically know it. There's no denying it. It already is today. Right here, they confirmed that it has approval for the Monetary Authority of Singapore to launch the DBS Digital Bank for tokenized assets. We see all these STOs across the board. We think of platforms like Securitize that Ripple and Coinbase invested in. This is the future. We saw even the other day when I was talking tokenized stocks and shares of Apple, Tesla, etc. It's all happening. Everything is going to be happening thanks to DLT and crypto adoption. All right? let's see. So bonds, etc. I want to see if I'm missing anything here. I went through this earlier. Different trading pairs, Singaporean dollar, of course, an expected on-demand liquidity corridor. We've seen even this with SIX, huge connections right there to Ripple and, SBI. There's no contesting that whatsoever. We also saw Standard Chartered, big RippleNet partner, early investor in Northern Trust, confirm a UK JV joint venture for crypto custody. That's called Demand. And then another longtime RippleNet partner, one of the biggest banks in the world out of Spain, BBVA, is also trading and custody of digital assets in Switzerland. We talk about former RippleNet employees like Kahina Van Dyke doing strategic moves, and now all of this is happening. This is just a game of, three-dimensional chess. It truly is. All right. And let me see if I'm missing anything. Yeah, so right here, guys. So talking about DBS, we have right here, Swell 2019, how DBS Group transformed into a 20,000 plus person startup company. We have this gentleman. Let's see if I remembered his name. Yep, it was Director Piyush Gupta. Whew, I think I'm pretty good, guys, for having all this short-term memory loss. Reading literally 50 names a day and still mispronouncing half of their names. Bringing the financial institution to the forefront of global banking leadership, Swell 2019. And there were a few points I wanted to get out of here. Let me see, explained. Let me see, where was it? So just talking about DBS, of course, the caliber of people that spoke here, they understand what's occurring. Whether it is, people from the International Monetary Fund, whether it's people of central banks like Cambodia, this is happening sooner than later. There are people that want to get out of, the hands or the control of SWIFT, and Ripple, this fintech, is changing the game. Now, we've heard quotes from Navin Gupta, saying, yeah, like what I just said in the beginning of this video. He said, Ripple, the company, will either put a dent in this universe and change, everything we know in terms of how value is transferred, or it'll fade away into oblivion. And then we had Miguel Valles, respond to that comment in a recent interview. I forgot who did it. I forgot if it was Brad Kimes or Digital Asset Investor, but essentially he replied to it and said, arguably, we've already made a dent in the universe, but yeah, we still have a long way to go. There are high hopes in saying that XRP someday will be as liquid as a G10 currency. I can't even fathom what the price would be like, because understand, liquidity begets liquidity. Okay? Let me see if I'm missing anything. Let me cover one last thing. And bottom line is this, guys. Even just these few examples. Digital asset JVs. We have crypto custody, crypto trading. It's non-stop. And now it's going to go into my final point right here. So we have the first cryptocurrency index fund listed on the OTC markets, over-the-counter markets. Pay attention to this. This is all good and great. Of course, these are some big cryptos included. We can see this fund has $120 million in assets under management, and will track the Bitwise 10 large cap crypto indexes or indices, which has a market cap of approximately, representing 80% of the overall value of crypto markets. Bitcoin, massive amount of Bitcoin. Ether, 13%, and then we see XRP and Litecoin. So yes, some large cap coins and definite exposure into the cryptocurrency market. We have to pay big attention to this right here. A product aimed at financial advisors. What have I been saying on this channel for probably 2.5 years? Literally, that financial advisors are going to be selling crypto assets to us everyday people, retail investors, at a premium. And what does it say right here? Due to the volatile nature of crypto markets, most investment products using them are accredited investors. And we understand this definition of accredited investors is changing quickly, because guess why? DLT is putting a dent in things and making investing more inclusive. Tokenization, we can buy, portions of stock. If I wanted to buy some Berkshire Hathaway and I couldn't afford an entire one, I could buy, 1/1000th of one very soon. Or investors who have a much higher tolerance for risk than retail investors. Such products are often expensive and trade at a premium because they provide access to Bitcoin, a scarce asset whose value has increased in the past couple of months. Pay attention to this. We know what is coming. Banks can hold crypto. We're still waiting on some legitimate custody solutions, like PolySign in 2020 is almost over. I would be so happy to get some good news from PolySign. We understand they're, behind Ripple. They have some huge people, Jack McDonald, Tim Keeney, Antoinette Gourmand, people that are literally responsible for custodying and holding 25% of the world's wealth. This is not coincidental. Ripple is a game changer. They cannot lose the game if it was their game to begin with. All right? So we'll keep an eye and see what happens with the snapshot. I'm all excited. And yes, I know people are anticipating some big volatile moves for XRP, as am I. We will simply see what happens. As always, the ball is in Bitcoin's court. At time of recording, Bitcoin is at 18,064. XRP is at 555, so 55 cents across the board. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like this video, and I will see you in the next one.